Yeah, so I'm Sandra Navas. I'm a lead simulation practitioner at University Hospitals Coventry and Warwickshire in the West Midlands. And our study involved introducing photos of human faces into the simulation environment. We all do numerous things to try and improve authenticity in simulation. We set the scene, it's a bit like a theatre production. We try and draw in real cases for the scenarios, and we get people to sort of role play an act within that simulation. But and also with the technology in mannequins these days, the participants can fully interact with them. You know, it's enhanced considerably, hasn't it? The mannequins that we use. But still, what's missing really is the you know, in terms of their facial and physical appearances, it's something difficult to replicate in simulation. And we've probably all heard participants say, well, it's just a dummy in the bed, isn't it? So if it was real, I would do something differently. I would have acted differently. So we thought, by introducing photos, would this change the behaviour and attitude of participants? Would they treat the mannequin any differently? If it was more humanised for them, would that change how they manage the patient and ultimately affect the patient outcome? Also, we wanted to know, would it improve their immersion and engagement in the simulation? So quite a simple concept, really. So the participants that we included in the study were final year medical students. They're in their acute block phase. We see them twice during that period, and it's sort of we see them within a space of 2 to 3 weeks. So it was a good way to sort of compare and contrast with photos and without photos in scenarios, which were very similar, acute illness scenarios. We had 58 participants altogether, with a 100% completion rate in terms of the questionnaire. So they all received a questionnaire paper at the end of the session 2, and we had some key questions that we wanted to ask in terms of immersion, humanising, and their diagnosis and differential management. So in terms of the results, it was quite revealing, actually. You think it's quite a simple thing having a photo there, but one thing we noticed that they all felt it was invaluable in terms of diagnosis. Because they were noticing things that they couldn't usually visualise when they were just looking at a mannequin. Most of them changed their attitude towards the patient as well. So what we did notice is they became more tactile, they talked in a different tone of voice, and they just changed their behaviour. So it was quite revealing. The other thing, yes, in terms of, we weren't sure whether, due to their inexperience and their exposure of being in the clinical practice, whether they took so much note of visuals, but certainly as experienced practitioners, visuals are quite important in terms of getting to the diagnosis. So essentially, virtually all participants changed their behaviour, and in terms of management, it sort of helps them decide on their differential and diagnosis, and so in effect, it did affect patient outcomes. Thank you, and I'll take any questions.